everyone, welcome to the Wedding Honey Podcast, the podcast where we chat about weddings with a little bit of sweetness, because we all know weddings can be stressful. We're here to lighten that up. Follow along if you'd like to hear journeys about wedding photography, wedding photographers, and of course, the wedding day. We're also going to be interviewing wedding specialists, and we can't wait for you to follow along. The Wedding Honey Podcast is brought to you by Wedding Biz Kit, a photography business course created by Sounds Like Yellow Photography. After 4 years in university, knowing I wanted to start my own wedding photography business, I had no clue how to write a proper invoice or even professionally run my business. I dug deep and curated a brand that is creative just as much as it is professional. Now, 8 years in of running my own successful business, I am proud to say I have the course for you. Okay, everyone, welcome back to the Wedding Honey Podcast. I'm very excited to have our next guest. She is someone who is very inspiring.
Thanks,
and
Jillian.
just so incredible at what she does. And I'm just excited to hear about what your journey has been like and just your story. So welcome, Carla Criminisi. No!
Criminisi, that's
Criminisi.
Okay. No one ever gets it on the first try.
I had it for a while.
You did.
You
You were good. No, Criminisi.
Carla
Criminisi.
Beautiful.
Perfect.
I actually love your name.
Oh, thank you.
Carla Criminisi.
There's 4 eyes in that last name.
I'm sorry. You have 4 eyes
Yes.
in the just
Yeah, I do. In my last name.
Criminisi.
Criminisi.
And then Carla has 2 A's.
Yes.
You're all vowels.
I know. I'm all about the vowels.
Yeah,
Nice and Italian.
Yeah, very.
I know, the
I
most.
love it.
So good.
So yes, welcome, Carla.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. This is so exciting.
We actually had this planned for a bit ago.
Yes.
And I actually went to Charles and Hunt, which
Yeah.
we'll talk about in a second, to chat. And we just got so sidetracked and talked about our business that we were like, oh, we both have somewhere to be now.
Exactly.
It was
amazing. And just now, too. 2 hours
I
of
know.
chatting, and now we're getting this done.
It just flies.
I know.
It just flies. But it's
I think
good.
it's a good problem to
It
have.
is, yeah. I feel like we just need to see each other more.
Yes, we do.
Which is great.
Yep.
I'm happy about
Next time, lunch,
that. Yes.
some wine.
Yes.
Yeah.
Necessary.
We're doing it.
You guys all feel that. We all understand
course. Who
this.
doesn't?
Yeah, right?
I know.
So, Carla, tell us about... So, Carla is the incredible owner and... What do you call yourself?
Head stylist.
Head
I would
stylist
say.
of Charles and Hunt.
Yes.
Which, if you haven't heard of them, check them out. We will link their website and Instagram
Perfect.
on the actual podcast. But what are they? What are those little handles for people who are listening right now?
So it's at Charles and Hunt
Okay.
across the board. So
Perfect.
Instagram, we're the most active on the Instagram.
Beautiful
also Facebook,
photos.
and
Yep.
then charlesandhunt.com
.com.
is our website.
And when it's Charles and Hunt, is it an ampersand?
It's written out.
It's written out.
Yes.
Good point. Because
Yes.
sometimes I'm like,
a lot of people don't know. Thank you for asking.
Yeah.
I know it's
Charles
a little
and
confusing.
Hunt. No, it's okay. It's just when I'm listening to podcasts, I'm like, well, what is it? Is it
Yeah.
a plus sign?
I
Is
know,
it an
those are good
ampersand?
questions.
So I always try to think of that.
Yes.
Because I think when I'm listening, okay, I just want to quickly search you.
Yeah, exactly.
And see your beautiful logo.
Thank you so
and
much.
everything. So please, Carla, let us know about, oh my gosh.
What we
See,
do.
this is,
What we do.
yes.
Yes. Okay. So Charles and Hunt is a men's styling and personal shopping service.
Fantastic.
So as you mentioned, I'm the founder and head stylist.
Right.
So our main, the main service that we offer is wardrobe styling and personal shopping. So
Awesome.
we'll sit down with our clients, figure out what it is that we're looking or what they're looking for, and hand select pieces specifically for them based on their lifestyle, their preferences, their budget. And next time they come in, we have everything in our showroom, in a fitting room, set up for them, coordinated, outfitted, and they try everything on and take home whatever works.
That's the best.
Yeah.
It's such a special experience.
Yes. We try to make it very special and very when they come into the space, as you know, it's a tiny space, but they have that
it's so
space
beautiful.
to themselves.
I think a lot of people feel more welcome in a space that's a little bit smaller
I agree.
like that.
Yeah. A little more intimate and comfortable
yeah.
and cozy.
And you've done a really great job, aesthetically.
Thank
it's
you.
so beautiful.
Thanks.
It feels like I'm walking into a really cool person's walk-in closet.
Okay, that's perfect.
Okay,
'Cause
good.
that's what I want it to feel
Amazing.
like.
It really
That's
does. I'm
good.
like, okay, I want to come to this person's house a lot
Yeah.
more and
Okay,
just
thanks
come
for
into this
saying that.
closet.
Yeah.
So if you do want to check them out and actually go in, you are by appointment.
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
So we're
which is
open.
So cool.
So we are open Tuesday to Saturday,
Awesome.
10 to 5 throughout the week. And then we take evening appointments from 5 to 7.
Okay.
And then on Saturdays, we're 10 to 4. But we do mainly, even though we're open, you can definitely stop by, but we do operate by appointment so that we can have that like one-on-one time with our clients and that they know that they're not interrupted. It's very different. It's a very different experience than going to a mall.
Way better than going to a mall.
Yes.
Way better.
I hope so.
I think so.
So really, like when you come in for your appointment, or when a customer comes in for his appointment, they have that space for their hour or hour and a half or however, like no rush, like however long it takes.
That's awesome.
They can come in, have a coffee, hang out.
So cool.
Yeah, instead of going to a mall. So I wanted to create an experience that is different from a mall or shopping from a mall in the sense of being more comfortable and not having hungry sales associates, not having to park and walk around for 6 hours,
So
trying to find
smart.
So we take away we do all the legwork and take away that stress, and then you come
do a
in
lot.
and like
It's so funny, like we were just chatting and I was saying to Carla, oh my gosh, there's so many little steps that a lot of people don't really understand that you do.
Yeah.
Like there is so much that goes into it. You go in and there's like we said, the beautiful experience, the really like fun kind of like the one-on-one, like boutique style. But there's so much that goes into it behind. Like you just kind of show up and there's all of these beautiful pieces or just really interesting things for you to try and maybe go out of your comfort zone, maybe just
be encouraged that.
Yeah. It's so cool. So
good.
It's interesting to hear like what kind of goes into it. And in terms of like the process, how would one kind of like start that trial process with you?
It's great because a lot of our clients have become very loyal and huge supporters.
That's
so
the best.
A lot of the time our clients will hear about us through word of mouth and either call us or look us up online. Then what they would do is book an appointment either through the phone or online. We have a booking site, and then we would meet one-on-one for about 30 minutes. It's complimentary.
Awesome.
Just to get a sense of who that client is, what he likes, what his lifestyle is like, what he does for a living, to really understand what we're looking for.
Amazing.
For him. Yeah.
That's
and
so
I know
cool.
I was mentioning this earlier, but it's so important. No one will ever be dressed the same because no one is the same.
Right.
So we really tried to dress our clients based on their life and like who they are and their personality.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. It's so funny because when you think of like a personal shopper or like someone who does what you're doing, we automatically think like, oh, maybe they've got like these 3 images and you just try on whatever they're saying. But
exactly.
It's so not like that. It's so different. You really take in every part of their lifestyle, every part of their personal style. Like it must be so interesting to look at that person and like really understand who they are within those 30 minutes.
Yes,
which I think is such a cool thing that you do.
And it's still it is still a process. That's what I say to every client. Like of course at first we're getting to know each other and I'm getting to know what they like, their likes, their dislikes, what brands and fits work for them.
Ooh, good point.
But then also like after that happens, it gets to the point where clients are calling me, like they don't have to come in for that initial consultation because we've gotten to know each other.
Right.
And I'm just, it's just a matter of what they need and calling me up and be like, hey, Carla, I'm going on vacation in a couple weeks and this is what I need. And everything is on file for them. So the next time they come in, it's just all ready for them. Yeah.
So what brought you to doing Charles & Hunt?
So I did my undergrad. Then I went to college. I went to Sheridan for visual merchandising.
Awesome.
Which led me, I would say, really, really got me ready for this experience.
Really?
Like in all,
Okay.
yes.
Awesome. Shout out to
So,
Sheridan. Then.
Yeah, shout out to Sheridan. They know I love them, but
Oh,
like
that's
they have
awesome.
really, that program taught me how to create my first website.
Oh,
like,
that's
easy
awesome.
drag and drop website. But,
But
still,
still,
you need that. Like you need to get started.
Definitely need that. Yeah.
So, website design, branding,
Huge.
trade show booth design.
Wow. That's
Store
awesome.
design,
Like really hands-on.
Yeah,
But just stuff
like
you need
styling.
to know.
Yes, absolutely. Everything that I use, I do really use like once a week or multiple times a day.
Wow.
So it was great.
Cool.
So I did that. Then when I graduated from Sheridan, I worked at Zara for 3 years. I fell into a management role very early on in my time there, which was amazing and has, again, taught me so many things that
Huge.
I'm now applying to my own business.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, I went to Italy for an internship. So I was at Zara for 3 years. Did an internship in Italy for 3 months.
Know this. That's the coolest.
Yeah, we've never talked about that.
No.
Yeah, I was in Milan and I did an internship at 2 showrooms for 3 months and then traveled for a month. And I came home and it was like right before Christmas. And I'm like, what the heck am I going to do now in the dead of winter back in Canada?
After like Milan,
yeah,
perfect
exactly.
life.
Yeah.
What?
And then
That's so cool.
I had a lot of people in my life had like planted the seed about styling, whether it was women's or men's, but I really...
Sorry, I was just going to say,
Yeah.
did these people really know you? Like, did they,
Yes.
like close friends,
Yes,
family?
yes.
Okay.
Friends, family.
Awesome.
And past employers. And they're
Wow.
like, maybe you should do this. So
I love
that was in the back of my mind.
Yeah.
And I had applied and interviewed at a bunch of different jobs and different positions. And nothing felt right. Nothing felt like 100%
like where you wanted
where
to
I
be.
needed to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so in January of the following year, so I had been home for maybe 3 months or so,
Right.
or 2 months. And then January of the following year, I'm like, you know what? We're going to do this. And I just
Amazing.
like gave it a shot.
Just dove in.
Yeah, I dove in.
Wow.
And I started I would meet with clients at coffee shops
Right,
or
'cause
whatever.
you didn't
I
have
didn't
your
have
location.
a space, no. And it originally started online. So I would meet with them face to face and then I would go out, find those pieces and send them photos of outfits that I thought would work for them. But I was literally in my parents' basement, climbed on top of a ladder,
I love this.
and took photos of flat lays.
You're just like
of
a
all
little
this
photographer
product.
also.
Yeah.
Casual
Okay,
photographer.
it was not good.
Yeah.
You would not be impressed. But I had to
had to.
I had to do what I had to do.
That
And
is
then
so cool.
I started getting a lot of requests to meet with these clients in person because they wanted to know the feel and the fit and all of these things that, of course, like even online shopping will never
Right.
be able to scratch that itch, I want to say. Like, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
so
Like
true.
there are so many things that technology can only get you so far,
So
but
true.
you do need to try on clothing and
Yep.
make sure that it's right. So that's how the space came about. I
That's
kept getting
so
that
amazing.
request and then
And you've been in the space now for,
almost 3 years.
oh my gosh.
No, 3 years, yeah.
And we didn't say this, but Charles and Hunt is located downtown Hamilton.
Yes.
On
James and King
James and
William.
That's it.
So it's in the Lister Block, which is a really cool heritage site. And it's actually one of the first malls. I should probably fact check this, but I'm pretty sure it's either the first mall that we know as a traditional like indoor mall in North America
What?
or in Canada. But anyway, it has a really cool
That's
history.
so cool.
Yeah.
It is a really beautiful
Yeah, it's
building.
beautiful.
I love it.
They did such a great job
Yeah.
restoring it.
So
Yeah.
you've been there for 3 years now.
Yes.
And so how long have you been doing Charles and Hunt then?
4.
4. Okay, so you were
Yeah.
only a year and then you're like, let's do it.
Yes.
Good for
Very
you.
premature
No,
in the biz,
not at all.
but I was like, no, what?
You
This is
need
either
it.
going to make or break it, so
Yep.
I got to just try it out.
Go
And it was
for it.
Yeah, it was perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
it helped the business for sure.
tenfold.
Yeah.
I can only imagine.
Definitely.
I mean, even just as a photographer, I mean,
Yeah.
there's a lot of people who meet, I mean, I meet my couples at a coffee shop.
Yeah.
But there are some times where I'm like, that'd be so cool to have
Yeah.
a space.
Yeah.
And people feel more comfortable. You made it that cozy
Yes.
element.
Yeah.
And the aesthetic was there. So it was a good move.
Thank you.
Very good move on your part.
I like to think so.
Yeah.
No, it's good. I love it.
So I met Carla when I was hosting a wedding show 3 years ago.
Yeah.
I think it was about 3 years ago. And you came to do the menswear. So if you haven't picked up on this, we are talking menswear today.
Yes, we are.
We're speaking about the groom
little
because we don't want to
different.
leave him out.
Yeah.
And I loved what you did. I loved
Thank you.
just like the brand that you were really growing at the time. I mean, this was right when you got your location. So it was still new, I'll
Yes.
say in quotations.
Oh yeah, very new. You came in when we were talking about this the other day,
Yeah.
but there were like 2 fold up chairs or something, or
There
maybe
was.
1 couch.
And I was still like, this is the coolest.
And that was it.
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing else. Just 2
But it
fold-up
looked
chairs, us
awesome. And you were
chilling.
just like, I'm doing it.
Yeah.
And it was so cool. And I was like, this girl, you need to be a part of this wedding show.
Yeah. It was
And
so much fun.
you've blown up since then.
Thank you.
It's really cool to see. And just like watching you work that day, I was like, this chick has the coolest job. For sure. I was like, what a cool
pretty
job.
cool. It's
And you've
pretty fun.
got like such an amazing brand. And like we were saying, you have a lot of cheerleaders behind you. And it's really cool to see your growth.
Mm-hmm.
So tell us about how you kind of jumped into the wedding side
Yeah.
of styling and
It
suits.
was kind of by fluke.
Best
so,
way that it happens.
Yeah, of course, how it always happens.
Yeah.
So I was, so one of my clients who was coming to me for the personal shopping side of things was getting married. And he's like, do you do this? And I'm like, oh, sure. Of course I do. Like,
Yeah.
let's do this.
Always
like, I
say
can
yes.
make this happen. And at the time, I was purchasing suits off the rack for all of these guys. So I was taking measurements, purchasing suits like in a mall. So you
Right.
could imagine there was a lot of like back and forth and
lot.
exchanges and stuff.
So much.
But I dressed him for his wedding, and I dressed, I
Wow.
think there were like 4 or 5 guys. And then I kept getting more requests for that. And now I have sort of grown that to incorporate a custom suit element. So I work with Copley, who is just down the street from my shop. So
Perfect.
it's a men's suit manufacturer that's been there since 1883. They've been there
Wow.
forever. Yeah,
So
and
much
they
history.
don't have a huge presence in Hamilton, even though the suits are manufactured
I had no idea that
in
they were
Hamilton.
here.
Yeah, they are. They're on York Street, so they're
That's
right downtown.
crazy.
And then so that's one end of things.
Right.
And then I also have suits that are available in store.
Wow.
So if groomsmen, if an entire wedding party comes in, they come in, they try the suit that's best for them and the fit and the style and
amazing.
the size. And then I order in the color that they want, and they get the suit, the shirt, and all the accessories for like a packaged
That's
price.
so great.
Yeah.
And how are you liking working with like the groom? Because it's a different
Yes.
vibe.
Very different vibe.
Yeah.
Very different
It's
vibe.
like a whole new part of your business.
Yes, it
Yeah.
is. I think there's a lot more pressure in a sense because, of course, like a wedding day is a very big deal.
Huge.
So there's definitely a lot of pressure to make it right, but that's
Perfect.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to make it perfect.
Totally.
And of course, like lots of input, which I encourage from like brides and the brides and the brides to be.
Right.
But it is a very different process.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because you're now dealing with maybe 5 guys.
Exactly. Yeah.
And they're all different and maybe have different styles.
Oh yeah.
So you're like, okay, how are we
Anywhere, yeah, and anywhere from like 2. I've had wedding parties of 2 guys, or just dealing with the groom, to wedding parties of 10.
Yeah.
And I had one where, I don't know if I mentioned this to you before, but one wedding party that the majority of the guys lived across Canada and in the States.
Did.
Yes. And they were all basketball. For the most part, they were basketball players or
So very
that
tall.
height, very
Yes.
tall gentlemen. And I didn't meet them until 3 days before the wedding. And of course, like there's only so much you can do. I got measurements from the groom
That's
and
all
I
you
had
can do.
photos
Oh
just
my
so that I could
gosh.
see how tall they are, how large they are in comparison to other people in those photos. So I asked all those questions, got all that info, and then obviously 3 days before the wedding they came in and there were some things
Were
that
you like, whoa,
yeah,
this is
and
happening?
some worked and some didn't, but I made it happen and they were all
Amazing.
good.
Of course you did.
Yeah, they had their
Surprised.
delivered suits the day before the wedding to the hotel.
Were
For
you
some
like-
of the guys that it was a
Phew.
little stressful, but it's okay. Got to get it done.
But those moments too are so unique and so special.
yes, they are.
Because you're like,
Hasn't happened
how did I
before
do
or
that?
after that time, but that was a good learning experience.
totally. Like
Yeah.
3 days, you're like, hello?
I
Okay,
know.
We're going to make
Okay,
this happen.
You're this guy. Okay, let's do this. Let's hope. Cross our fingers.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And that happens a lot. Like from what I hear in
Yes.
the industry, a lot of wedding parties, I mean, you're friends and then you move.
Yeah, exactly.
So sometimes they can be everywhere.
exactly.
And Charles and Hunt just makes it happen.
Try to make it happen. Yes.
That's
you
incredible.
Also, there's a lot of keeping just making it happen and like keeping the groom and the bride calm because that's
happy
so
and
yeah
calm.
and that's
Yeah.
so important.
It
right?
is,
Like
it
you're
is.
there to help them, so
And that's
you can deal with the stress. But
totally.
like, you don't want to stress.
Like
them
I'm not
out.
telling you.
Yeah, they
and
can.
that's where that one-on-one boutique
Yes.
is really necessary. Whereas maybe a store in a mall would be like, no, this
Yeah.
isn't. No, like
it's not going to
it's
work,
not going to
or
work,
it's not going to
or
happen.
let's have that
Yeah.
really awkward, awful conversation.
Yeah.
Where you're like, nope, we're just going to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
And
and
do.
you know who you're dealing with. I find that the difference between this service, especially for weddings, when you're dealing with like 5 to 10 guys at a time coming in a wedding party, you know, those guys know that I have, or my assistant or whoever it is, has been with them since the beginning of the process.
Right.
Whereas if you go into a mall on a Saturday, the next deal with one sales associate, the next Saturday it could be someone else.
it
And
will
you have
be
to
someone else,
explain
yeah.
yourself again and like go through that process. Whereas like I keep very detailed notes
Oh,
of
yeah.
every guy coming in and what they want and what their requests are.
And it
so
will
that
be
nothing
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Nothing like falls through the cracks. So,
Right.
Yeah.
Which is a huge deal when it comes to a wedding.
Oh yeah.
You don't want anything falling through
No,
the cracks.
no room for that.
So do you find, like, are you enjoying working with like groomsmen and grooms?
Yeah,
Cool.
I do. Yes, I really do. And it's fun to be part of. I'm sure you feel like this too, but it's so much fun being a part of such a special day.
Totally.
And then getting that like thank you from the brides and the grooms after.
Yeah, and seeing the
And,
photos.
Yeah, seeing the photos
So
and that's
cool.
that's the best.
You're like, oh, it looks great on you.
Yes, yeah.
This worked out.
This worked
yeah,
out.
that's such a special, like, not only are you dressing them, some of them, like in their daily lives, but then to
Yeah.
have those special ones that say, oh, can you dress me for my wedding too?
Yeah, exactly.
That's kind of cool
It's
that
so
they're
nice to be
coming
part
to
of that.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a big deal.
It's a huge deal.
Yeah.
And they're trusting you,
Yes.
right? Which is
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that feeling of like, okay, you can trust me that you're going to look the best today.
Yeah.
Because they all want to look the best.
Of course they do.
Yeah.
Especially on that day.
Yeah. And then what about styles? Like, are you seeing trends
So I'm
for groomsmen specifically?
for groomsmen or
groomsmen
grooms and
Yeah,
groomsmen.
grooms and
Or sorry,
groomsmen.
grooms and groomsmen.
Yeah.
So for grooms, I would say it really depends on, at the end of the day, just like the personal shopping end, it's like the personality and the theme of the wedding and the vibe can change so much from one wedding to the next
Right.
that the trends that I'm seeing are more about color palettes and decor that ends up somehow being incorporated into what they wear, like
Interesting.
whether it's a
Cool.
tie or a pocket square or like funky socks.
Yes.
But
That's a big one.
every groom is so unique and every wedding is so unique that they tell me their vision, or they pull up the Pinterest board and we go
Aw.
through
Yeah.
what their vision is, and then I make it work. But I would say that a lot of grooms are going back, like taking on more of like a traditional tuxedo style, which is very nice.
Very happy about that.
Yeah, very
Yeah.
nice. And and it's more about like a more modern fit. Like it's not your dad's tuxedo,
Right.
right? Like it's about the fit and the styling that has changed a little bit to give it more of a
Interesting.
modern
Do you
edge.
find, are you saying like guys are leaning more towards that?
Yeah.
And they care more
Yes.
about
Oh yeah.
that?
And I think and again
fit.
that goes hand in hand with the personal shopping. I think that
Right.
there was a demand for a business like this because guys care so much more now
So much more.
than they did before.
And like a lot of them. Whereas before it was
Yes.
probably reversed.
Yes.
Like, not many care, but some.
Yeah.
Now a lot more.
For sure.
Especially on their wedding day. They're
Yes.
like, I want to look good.
Yeah.
You've probably worked out to get
For
to
sure.
a really good spot
Yeah,
with
exactly.
your body and with your whole
Yes.
feeling. Do you have a preference? Like you personally, are you like, I love like a straight tuxedo, or do you like something a little more funkier?
I love, tuxedo is definitely up there for me.
Oh, same.
Like a white tuxedo jacket, which you don't see enough,
No.
is so classic and
I
looks
do love
so
that.
awesome.
So classic.
Like the bride doesn't have to be the only one.
Right?
In white, the
Well
guy,
said.
yeah, the groom can rock a white
I love
tuxedo
the
jacket
white.
too.
So cool.
Yeah, I love it. I really do. And I also love when grooms come in and they don't want your traditional. I'm like opposite ends of the spectrum.
I
here.
love it.
Like so traditional tuxedo, and then the other end is like they want a really cool jacket and a gray pair of pants and like
I
you
love
know,
that.
and it depends though. Again, it's like the theme of the wedding and the vibe and
Right.
that. And part of the intake with my grooms and the brides is like understanding. I want to get a vision
Yes.
for what that wedding day is going to be look like. Where is it? What are the florals like? What are your
So
colors? What are
true.
I ask all those questions because that makes such a difference in what they're wearing.
Right. Because sometimes I'm sure, or they might come in with an idea and you're like,
Yeah.
that's not going to work with.
Yes.
Or maybe you see something and they're like, no, that won't work. It's
Yeah.
so interesting.
Yeah.
Because rather than, like with the personal shopping, you want to hear about their lifestyle, like what they do and what
Yes.
they're like involved in. Like, what
Yeah.
do you do outside of work? What do you do for work? But now it's like, what is happening
What
on
is
this
happening
day?
on the day, specifically
Yeah.
on the day. Yeah.
Interesting. So there's always background information that you really need.
Yes.
So cool.
And they are setting, this is what I say all the time. It's like what they're wearing, is setting the tone for the rest of the wedding.
Majorly.
You know?
Yeah.
So
Just like a dress for
yes,
a bride.
exactly.
I think I see that a lot too. Like even just as the photographer, blah, 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 blah.
Photographer?
I do this a lot. I'm like, you can stutter.
Good.
I stutter.
Yeah.
I just take it out.
Good.
Even as just the photographer, I find men are like, no, I really want to look good.
Yeah.
I want to look as good as my bride is.
Yeah.
Because you are both have to look back on these images.
Yes.
And you want your bride to be like swooning over you,
yes,
of course.
of course.
I do love the idea of like a really cool, unique like smoking jacket or something.
Yes, I love
Ugh,
that.
is that happening more and more? Crossing fingers, crossing fingers.
A little, yeah.
Okay.
It's not.
I'm happy with that.
I find that it happens with. I would love if like younger men would adopt that, but it's a lot of like older men.
I'm
who,
surprised.
Yeah, who's like, I just want this awesome jacket
So
and
cool.
these cool trousers, and like whether they put a vest underneath or
Oh.
yeah, which is really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just try something different.
Exactly.
Maybe they're at that age where they're like, let's just try
Let's
it.
just do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good for
sure.
them.
Yeah.
Maybe the youngers will
They'll get
adopt
there.
that.
Yes.
Crossing. I think that's so fantastic.
Yeah.
Just have some fun.
Yeah. That's my
Go out of
favorite.
those comfort zones. I love that.
Yeah.
So what are some of your favorite parts of being a part of like a wedding story? On the groom side, we'll say.
I love going back to like how he would feel on that day. Like it's so important. Of course, like the women, like the bride is, no offense, men, but like she tends to be the center of attention, even though it's about the couple. Like the
Totally.
bride is definitely, but to be able to get him feeling confident enough or get him to a space where he's like, you know what, like this is the most important day of my life. I feel so confident. And that's linked to what I do on the personal shopping end too. Like at the end of the day, it's all about confidence. Like I'm trying to help these men feel good and look good and do good. And, you know, that's all part of.
That's so true.
Yeah.
Like you're not only just shopping for them.
Yeah. It's so much more than shopping. More. Like it's not like a surface level.
Yeah.
That's like that's literally just the surface of it. Yeah. And then there's all these other layers yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's such a nice kind of feeling.
For sure.
Like when the groom puts on his like tailored suit to be like, oh, this is great.
Yeah. I love that.
That's such a,
and
that's
then, like,
such
getting
a sweet
the thank
moment.
Yous and
And we were kind of talking about this where you are more the pre-wedding.
Yes.
So it's interesting that one of your favorite parts, of course, would be the pre-wedding.
Yeah.
Because on the day of, like, you're just like, oh, I hope it goes great.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then I see the photos and I'm happy with it and they're happy with it. And it's,
That's really special.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of people who will even say to me like, oh, my favorite part is when the bride walks down the aisle and you look at the groom and like, the groom is very special on that day.
Yeah, he is, of course.
Like so special.
So it takes two for that day to happen.
So true.
Yeah.
So it's cool to know like that they're in that really good place because of also how they feel.
Yeah, exactly.
Rocking whatever suit they're rocking.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's a big deal.
So when would someone come to you to like book you? Like when are you booked in that?
I have had clients come in or call me like a year in advance. I'm actually working with some grooms who have gotten the process started a year out, which I always encourage, like the earlier the better.
Okay.
And then I have other grooms who, like, I would recommend coming in probably 6 months in advance.
6 months. Okay.
Would be the max.
Even for custom? Like a custom suit?
Yeah, so the custom turnaround's really quick.
Fantastic.
So because it's made in Canada, it's made in Hamilton, and also they've been around for so long that they've really gotten like the manufacturing and the efficiency down pat. It's only 7 to 14 business days.
Oh my gosh, that's
incredible. Because it's not being shipped overseas. It's not, it's all done in-house. I literally walk to pick up the suits and I bring them back to the shop.
Done.
Yeah, it's great. I wouldn't recommend getting a suit 7 days before you get married, but it does, like,
knowing that it comes quick is nice. Yeah.
Knowing that it comes quick is nice, and then you have room for any tweaks, and you know, you can just,
things could change. You might want to add something.
Yeah, exactly.
So 6 months minimum, you'd say.
Yeah, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
No, I think that's pretty good. That's pretty
great.
Tight. Like in the wedding industry world, because
it's like minimum a year for everyone else.
Yeah.
So that's great. 6 months. And even
sorry.
No, you go first.
I was gonna say, even from like a trend and color and swatch perspective, it's nice to be within like the 1 year to 6 month range, because you want to see what, especially for custom. So I get a custom set every season, so 2 times a year. So there's a fall custom set and then a spring custom set. So if you are getting married in the spring and I get the custom set, say in February, and you're getting married, in the summer, then you want a swatch and a fabric that works for a summer wedding.
Right.
So coming in 6 months out is a good idea, because you're getting something that's A, very current, and B, the right weight in terms of like the wool. And
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
So it's almost harder if they come, like, I'm sure you haven't had people come 2 years before.
No,
that'd be too much.
Yeah, a little too much. Yeah.
There's so many more trends coming.
Exactly. Not that, like, a lot of guys do go a little more classic on their wedding, because like you're gonna look back on these photos and you want something that isn't gonna be terrifying in 25 years, but
or that your kids are gonna majorly make fun of you.
Yeah, exactly. But, and there are, like, even in the swatch set that I have from Copley, like, those fabrics there are classic fabrics and plain fabrics that they have year round.
Oh, that makes sense.
So you can always come in, and even if it is 2 years in advance, those fabrics are still going to be here 2 years from now, hopefully, if they don't sell out.
Yeah.
but they're like the tried and true ones. So
that they know people
that they know is going to work
after.
Yes,
right.
Exactly.
So interesting. Okay, so even if they've got a groom and a groomsman like wedding party,
yes,
6 months still.
Yeah, I would.
Amazing.
I think so.
And we were kind of talking last time we were in your space, just like how like 10 guys or even 5 guys.
Yeah.
And you're like organizing this. What a fun day though.
It is really
like,
fun.
So cool.
But you really got to keep on top of them.
You do.
Because they're having, of course, like I want them to come in this
best
space
time.
and have fun, and it's their guys' day out, and that's part of the process and part of like being in a wedding party.
Right.
But sometimes like they get caught up, and 10 guys,
course.
One little girl running around the shop with 10 guys, like you got to sort of wrangle them
like
up.
In the cutest outfit, just like, hey guys, we have to do this.
Yeah. Who's next?
Yeah,
Let's go.
let's move it. But they need that. And I'm sure, I know a lot of the grooms and groomsmen are probably like, this is great. Like to have someone who's like on them, but just like, let's still have fun.
Yeah, for sure.
You're
it's still a
understanding
fun
that they're
space.
exactly,
and
which is again nice. I know, just from like my husband going and like trying on suits. Sometimes it's not a very good experience.
No, I know.
You're in the mall and it doesn't fit at all.
And someone who doesn't understand your vision, I find a lot of the time, or even grooms who have done their research, and I always encourage that. I'm like, do your research. Go to the mall, like see what you need.
Yep.
If this is a good fit for you, then awesome. I'd love to work with you. But a lot of them come back and will say like, but a lot of them will come back and say like, you know what? Like I had sometimes it's an older man who like doesn't understand the vision that they want, and they're like in their 20s or their 30s. They're like, I want this slim fit. And
they're like, don't go that slim.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's important to, like, I will always support the vision, but I'll also try to encourage them to, like, something that's great for their body type.
Brilliant.
Or, and like slim doesn't fit everyone.
Totally.
But if it does, you got to make it work.
Try it. And then say, oh, I actually do like this.
Yeah.
Because sometimes they just need a little push. A little push.
Yeah.
But that's true. To see the vision, I think, is really important.
So important.
Yeah. And I feel, again, with like a one-on-one, that will always come through.
Yes.
Because you're really listening to them.
Yes.
And not just going down a checklist.
Exactly.
And moving on to the next person.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So that's really, really important. What would you say is something that keeps you like creative and growing in your business?
That's a great question. I would say staying on top of trends for sure.
Huge.
Staying on top of, and even new brands that are coming out for men, or where I do have a lot of very loyal clients, but where they've been shopping, why do they wear the brands that they already wear? What are they interested in? And always, I always try to bring in brands in my showroom once a year and sort of rotate and bring in new brands so that it's always fresh, right?
Brilliant.
So you have to sort of stay on the pulse of okay, so what does Harry Rosen have, or what does this store have?
Have you always been interested in following those trends with for menswear?
At Sheridan. When I was at Sheridan, that's when the menswear love sort of grew.
Cool.
And then I fell into the position at Zara. I actually applied for women's wear.
Okay.
And they're like, well, we have menswear available, no women's wear. So it was meant
to be. Yeah. I had no idea.
Yeah. So that's where it really, professionally, where I got my start. And I love the tailoring. I love how classic menswear is. So cool. I love that it's so much about the fit. That is so important.
Oh my gosh.
And you could have the same suit for however many years, and if it fits well and it's good quality, then you have that bad boy forever. Yeah. That's so important. And I think, and in women's wear, there's so much of an emphasis on fast fashion and always having something that's current and trendy, but then next season you're going to be getting rid of it. Whereas I try to encourage, and it is a little easier with menswear, but I try to encourage men to create capsule wardrobes where,
oh my gosh, I love that.
You know what I mean? Where they have those pieces for so long, and yes, they're investing in their wardrobe, and it might be higher quality
For the most part.
For the most part,
Probably
it will
is,
be higher
yeah.
quality, but it also might be a little more expensive. But at the end of the day, you're saving
Over time?
so much because you
Oh,
can
yeah.
wear that piece forever,
Yep.
and it's like it's not as
quality
trendy. Yeah,
Is there fast fashion for guys?
there is.
But-
There is for
Okay,
sure.
okay.
Yeah, there is
I don't
for
know
sure.
much about men's.
Yeah,
It's so cool.
and it
but-
is. There is, and there are definitely places that, like guys will come in and they'll be like, "Well, this is where I'm shopping now," and I'll say, "Well, why don't we try this? And you can invest in this, and it's going to last you 10 times longer than like the things that you're wearing now that are coming from stores that are very like fast fashion."
Right.
You know what I mean?
Now, do you find that the guys are open to that? Or are they like,
Yeah.
okay, good.
They are.
That's really great.
Also, because men's shopping habits are very different than women's.
Right.
So if they
I don't have to go to the mall.
yeah,
all the time.
exactly. So if they're only coming in twice a year
Fantastic.
and everything's lasting them so longer,
That's incredible.
even better. Whereas
Yep.
I feel like as women, our shopping habits are like, oh, it's Saturday, or we have free time, or like
Gotta
today
stop
wasn't
in.
the best, so
Yeah.
let's do some. We're gonna have some retail therapy
Yes.
time,
Very
right?
true.
Like it's a very different process, and like the psychology is very different
Huge.
for men versus women. So men are definitely more open to the concept of some really like core pieces.
Major.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Yeah.
I wish we were more
Yeah,
like that, to
I
be
know,
honest.
I know.
So you're always kind of up on like the new kind of
Yes,
trends.
yeah.
Do you go to men's fashion shows? Like, are you?
I do go to Toronto Fashion Week. I've been to, I go to trade shows normally once or twice a year.
Smart.
To see again like what the new brands are and what the new trends are and what's coming out for the following season.
Smart. Is there like
yeah.
magazines you are like, gotta check this out?
Well, Esquires, yeah, I'm like a big Esquire.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, love
Good to
Esquire.
know. Good to know.
Also, it's 2019 and social media is
Oh.
just, like you
So
always
true.
know what's happening. Even with Instagram, you
You're
always
right.
know what's
Even
happening.
if you're not looking, you're looking.
Even if you're not looking, it's in there.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you see things and you're like, ooh, I want to try that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you find when you see like a certain style or like even a celebrity, say on Instagram, are you like, ooh, that could really work with this client named blah? Like, do you find that
Yes.
you sometimes see, or even like
Yes.
someone on the street, you're like, ooh, that would look great on Brian.
Yes.
So
I do.
Cool.
And or clients will come in and be like, I want to look like this celebrity, which makes it so much like if they tell me what their style inspiration is,
Yeah.
it does help with me understanding what their vision of what they want
love.
to, of what they want to
Cool.
look like.
That's
is.
interesting.
Yeah. I love that too. I encourage that.
I like that.
I encourage
lot.
that for weddings, and then I also encourage that for the personal shopping side.
Right.
So I get a really good understanding of who they are and what they
And
want
like
to
what's going on up in
Yeah.
their brain. Because you could show them something, they're like, ooh, I have no connection.
Yeah, exactly.
But Ryan Gosling, perfect.
Yes.
You know, like,
yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
It's so cool because, I mean, I think I look at like women's outfits and I'm like, ooh, I love that. Gotta put that on the list. But with men's, I'm just like, you look good. You look great.
Yes,
like,
exactly.
I don't look at their full pieces.
Yes.
I think because I don't shop for those
Yes.
things.
Yeah.
When you look at guys' outfits, do you look at their pieces then?
Yeah, like I look at
So
obviously like the overall outfit most importantly.
course.
And then definitely like if there are some great like jackets, for example, or someone's rocking like a really cool signature piece, then I'm like, okay, keep this in mind. That could work for this person.
I love that. That's
Yeah.
so cool.
Yeah.
I love like what kind of things are kind of inspirational to you because it's just a different. You're in such a different industry.
I am, especially being a woman. Like there's no.
I think that's
it's-
why I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, it's a totally different take, and I would love to bring on. I think it's important to have both perspectives, and
Agreed,
maybe down the road I'll bring on a male stylist. But it is nice to have, that different, like that
Agreed.
female perspective
Yep.
is important.
very helpful.
Yeah.
And it's great to have like that perspective when it's a man coming in.
Yes.
Because you're like, oh, this is what I see.
Yes.
And they can be like, oh,
interesting.
I know, I love
Didn't
this.
see that.
There's so
Yeah.
much psychology.
There is.
Really,
Yeah, there
really cool.
is. Yeah.
In terms of like 2020 styles
Yes.
and trends,
Yes.
what are you seeing? What are you thinking? What's coming up?
Okay, so I would say there is I feel like I deal with a lot of because men, especially in the personal shopping side, they come in and they want something that is kind of classic because they're going outside of their comfort zone and maybe they need a little bit of help, or maybe they know exactly what they want, but they don't have the time to do it.
Ooh,
so I don't deal with a lot of like trendy pieces, but for like I would say the sport coat is killing it compared to suiting. That's been going on for a while.
Okay.
So guys are gravitating more towards like the business casual. So they'll be wearing like dark denim to work and cool sport coats and interchangeable shirts.
Oh my God, my dad's like so on trend right now. He's going to be thrilled.
Look at him. Nice. So
like,
good.
Never thought that.
Yes. Yeah. So I would say, lots of green, lots of purple.
Ooh, like
colors
color.
in terms of like color trends. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Greens and purples.
Yeah. Green has been big for a while.
Interesting.
But now it's sort of carrying over into every season, not just fall, which we've been seeing most often, like that olive green or that like really deep green.
Well, when we did that wedding, that was
exactly.
It was like emerald.
Oh yeah, that was beautiful.
I loved that.
Yeah, that was
suit.
very nice. Yeah.
Who was
that? Was Tiger of Sweden. Yeah.
So nice.
It's beautiful. And now it's coming in, and like now it's light in lighter shades and mint and
olive, you were saying? That's so cool. Okay. So you're saying more colors?
Yes.
What about like groomsmen? Are people doing a lot of mix and match?
So they're doing a lot of, which I support this because I don't think that everyone should have to be forced to buy the same suit in their friend's wedding or in their, but a lot of grooms are just saying, hey, this is the color. We're all wearing black or we're all wearing blue or we're all wearing gray, and everyone is responsible for finding their own suit. And then what ties all the guys together is like same accessories and same shirt or something, and like one color shoe.
Right.
Which is really nice because you're not forcing anyone to, buy a new suit for this wedding.
Totally.
But it still creates a really cool look. And I think for bridesmaids, that's been very popular.
It has.
a lot of brides have been saying, okay, you find a blush dress, it can be any style.
Call it a day.
It's all going to work. So why not men?
Of
men
course.
can do that too.
And I think it looks great when men are just kind of like, because then they're in their own suit. They feel like they're in their own skin.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that has actually been very popular.
Interesting.
Doing their own thing. Yeah.
Okay. Do you see groomsmen in like a tuxedo and guys in a different, like in a suit? Is that?
Like groom in tuxedo and guys in a suit. Yes.
Interesting.
For sure. It doesn't have to be like tuxedo across
all
the
way
board.
Across.
I kind of like that. A lot of the time it'll be groom and tux, whether it's black or navy, and then the guys will be in like black suits or navy suits. Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Yeah. And it's still very formal.
It is.
Yeah.
There's not as many rules.
Yes.
Which is great.
Exactly.
Do you find it's easier when there's not as many rules? Like you're like, okay, let's try this. Let's try this.
Anything is possible.
Yeah.
Which is so nice.
So nice.
So much better. And it's a different, I find that, and I've had requests about rentals, which we haven't really chatted about, but I've had a lot of requests for that. But I find when you go into a rental or you have that rental experience, it's like the cookie cutter.
It is.
There's no, like it is all about like the cookie cutter and the rules of what a groomsman's supposed to look like on that day, right? Instead of sort of tailoring it to what the wedding is going to be like. Right. Not
even like who that person is. Like I've seen wedding parties where it's like, these are all very handsome men and all of their suits don't fit.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
that exactly
is breaking my heart.
Oh, yeah.
Because you know that they look and will feel so much better.
Exactly.
And I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, I know.
So I don't know, the rentals, that must be a tough game.
One. It is.
Yeah.
For sure. And it depends on your budget too. Like that's
true.
Not it's for some people and it's not for others.
Yeah.
But it also, there are other ways to look good on like a reasonable budget.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, good to know.
Yes.
These rentals. So do you have people coming and asking you?
They do. Yeah, I do. Unfortunately, it's not something maybe, well, actually, I shouldn't even say maybe in the future because I don't think it's anything I'll get into.
It's so hard.
It is hard.
Because I think you are doing so well with that boutique one-on-one. Like
I don't want to tarnish that.
No.
Yeah.
So sorry,
and they
guys.
get to take and they get to take a suit home.
Exactly. Here's
and a shirt
here's
and
the best
accessories.
part.
And that's the best.
Yeah.
And guys also have the benefit of being able to wear these suits so many times. Unlike us ladies,
They're so lucky.
Can't just bust
Like,
out
just
your
rock
wedding
the
dress
cool
from
pants and a nice shirt.
I know.
Even just a guy, the sport coat look is really nice
and very versatile. They're gonna wear that forever.
Yep.
Different
Lucky.
ways, every piece. I know.
I'll wear a sweater 4 times and be like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah, exactly.
Fast fashion.
Fast fashion. We're sucked in as women.
Oh my gosh, Carla, this is amazing.
So fun.
I'm
Thanks,
so happy
Jillian.
that we got to chat.
That's great. Me too.
And hear the process.
Yeah.
I think I was more so just like, so tell me this. Like, what?
So
I'm
interested.
so interested.
I'm so glad.
It's really so cool what you do, and you're doing it so well.
Thank you.
And it's really cool that I get to know you.
It's so great to know you. I'm so honored. Thank you for having me.
Amazing. So we're going to check you out.
Yeah.
Charles and Hunt across the board.
Yes.
charlesandhunt.com for website.
For website. Yes.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And hey, check her out. Go down to
pop
James and
King William.
King William.
Yes.
James and King William.
So the actual address is 28 James Street North.
Okay.
But if you're in the James and King William area, you can't miss us.
You can't.
We're in the very cool heritage building.
Yes.
In the
And
Lister
she's
block.
got a window, so you'll see
tiny little window.
the beautiful logo.
Yeah.
That you'll just fall in love with.
Thanks.
And just check it out. So thanks so much, Carla.
Thank you.
I can't wait to have you on again because we'll chat
Yeah,
more.
we'll do it again.
Of course.
For sure.
Okay, thanks.
Thank
Bye.
you.